Breaking the chains of corruption. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And thank you so much for the information shared and also the comments on our Facebook page. It's been lovely seeing your thoughts and your comments as well on this beautiful topic. I say beautiful because at the end of the day, we have learned so much, and that we are going to imply it as well in our homes, in our households, in our villages, wherever you're watching from, so that we can all be one in this good governance. And we also take this time to again welcome and thank the FIRECAC people, the good people from Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption. And again in the studio is Miss Colora Naliva, Manager Complaints and Governance. Hello to you, Miss Colora. Bulvinaka. And it's been a beautiful journey along together with you, Hope Channel Fiji, and together with the FIRECAC people, especially you, as you've come to educate us on this word corruption, and also to be sharing on our views on Hope Channel TV. So be ready with your thinking hat and your pen and your paper maybe, and maybe your mobile, as we talk more on corruption. Now, questions I have for Ms. Colora. What is abuse of office to start off this program?
Abuse of office happens when someone who is sitting in a position of authority uses his or her job or power for the wrong reasons. One is so that they can benefit themselves, like there is a personal gain or private gain, or the gain can be for others, meaning the person's friends, the person's relatives, the person's family. So instead of the person who's sitting there in a position of authority, serving the public honestly, he or she is misusing or abusing the powers, the lawful powers that comes with his position in order that they gain from it or others gain from it, and it's an unfair advantage to others.
So, Ms. Colora, when you say leaders, does this include church leaders as well, community leaders?
Yes, anyone that's sitting in the position of authority. We have to understand, and we have to know this, that when someone is appointed to sit in a position, with that position, there are some powers that comes with that position.
Of course.
But then the expectation is that you sitting in that position and you have to use your powers in a lawful way, like within the ambit of
your position.
In the event that the person misuses or abuses or goes out of the ambit of that lawful power, that is where the person is tend to be abusing and is on that line of committing an offense under abuse of office.
So thank you so much, Ms. Colora. Yes, corruption is not always something far away. It often begins in small choices, quiet compromises, and everyday decisions. Now, what elements of the offense, Colora, would you like to share with us?
Just before I move on to the elements of the offense, I just thought to, for the purposes of our viewers, listening in and tuning in this discussion, the simple examples of abuse of office would be, for example, if a government official or a government officer approves a contract for their relative's company, even though there was a company that was better qualified. So that's how abuse of office works. Or maybe a police officer uses his or her position to demand money from someone in exchange that the police officer lets that person go. Or a clerk in a licensing office asking for something extra, to be paid to him or her before he processes your application. Those are the simple examples of how I can explain or how you can picture abuse of office in your mind. Yes.
There you have it, in the face of good governance. Maybe if you see it in your community, what is happening, as Ms. Clara has just described, maybe it's a good time to call that toll-free number, and of course keep that engagement going so that we can eradicate corruption from our beautiful land country, Fiji. Now, what causes abuse of office is our next question.
Just before I go on to the causes, I was supposed to also explain on the elements of the offense of abuse of office. So the elements of the abuse of office are: the accused is employed in the public service. It basically means that the person is working in a government institution or in a public sector organization and is working in a public office. Okay, so the person was officially appointed to sit in that position in that particular organization. Okay, and then the second element of this offense is in the abuse of the authority of his office. Okay. So this means that the person, while sitting in that particular office, in a government office, sitting on a particular position, there's powers that comes with that position, and the person misused that power. Okay. Misused that power, like they did something wrong. Okay. And then the third element is did an arbitrary act for the purpose of gain. It basically means that the person acted unfairly, uses his position, uses his powers, and acted unfairly or acted without proper reason in facilitating or doing something. Okay. In order for the person to benefit, like there is a gain, a personal gain that comes to that person who's sitting in that position, or the gain was intended for maybe the family or the relatives or the friends of the government official that's sitting in that position. Okay? And the last element is that the act was prejudicial to the rights of another. Basically means that because of the wrongful action, someone else's rights was affected. Okay? Someone else lost a good or great opportunity because of someone's wrongful action or unlawful action. So that is the elements of the offense of abuse of office. I know it's too much to take in at the first time, but we have offices that goes out to the communities and that goes out to the organizations to conduct training and workshops covering topics of abuse of office and bribery and soliciting or accepting an advantage.
Thank you. Yes, we'll walk through of the offense, the abuse of office. Thank you so much, Ms. Colora. And what causes abuse of office? We go to our next question.
The causes of abuse of office is basically greed.
That's going to be number one.
Yes.
Might I add?
It's just the same reason for bribery. It's greed. It's dishonesty. Okay? It's dishonesty. And I think those would be the
leading
causes of why people sitting in positions with power would actually drive them to do abuse of office. One is greed, and one is dishonesty. There's a lack of integrity in in people who sit in their positions.
You're talking about values here.
Yes, it basically takes you back to your ethical and your moral values. At the end of the day, it takes you back there.
True, it really does. Now, the impacts of abuse of office, Ms. Colora.
The impacts of abuse of office would be one, loss of public trust. Okay. So when officials misuse their positions, ordinary people, the honest citizens will stop believing in that particular government office, that the services or given out by this a government office, it's not fair, it's not honest. And so that affects the public confidence in that particular organization. Unfair treatment, citizens have been citizens who are not into participating or who are not, they don't pay bribes, they are going to be left behind because it's those who pay or those who have connections in their public organizations, they are the ones that are going to get the favors. Okay, so there is going to be unfair treatment between the honest people and the dishonest people. Yes.
Wow.
Wasted resources, public money, public service and opportunities that were meant for developments of hospitals, schools, or roads, those are being diverted for personal gain instead. Okay?
Wow.
So it reduces the development that was supposed to be done in the community, in the rural areas, and it affects the community livelihoods as well. Okay?
Kind of like a ripple effect into the...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Government money, government grants that is given for the upgrade of roads in the highlands. If those monies are being swindled by public officials who are corrupt. So at the end of the day, the road is still left in its original state. Okay, so who gets affected? The commuters, the people, the community who use that road to go to school, to go to work, to go to the market to sell their produce. Okay, so those are the impacts of abuse of office and, in a bigger sense, corruption.
And so to our viewers, I hope and we trust that you have been noting down all this very important information that's coming out from Ms. Colora Naliva, the good people from FICAC, and that you and I are going to be working together with FICAC in collaboration with Hope Channel Fiji, and that you are going to be also heading towards this good governance, as she has explained clearly to us the impact of the abuse of office and how we can be all affected. And of course, how we can also be affected when we have good governance within our communities, within our society. Now, Ms. Colora, law that criminalizes abuse of office. What are the laws that criminalizes abuse of office?
Abuse of office is criminalized under Section 139 of the Crimes Act 2009. So basically it makes it an offense under that act.
Okay.
And in terms of the penalty that it carries, if a person or if a public official is charged with the offense of abuse of office, and if it's found, he or she is found guilty by the court, so the statutory penalty in the law, it's 10 years imprisonment. And if the act was done or directed to be done for gain, if there was a gain, then it's 17 years imprisonment.
Harsh penalties might we add to you, our viewers. And of course, well, what you plant, you will. What you sow, you will reap as well. Thank you, Ms. Colora. Now, the penalty. We've talked about penalty, or would you like to add?
The penalty for abuse of office is 10 years imprisonment. And if it is seen that there was private gain or personal gain on the part of the public official, maybe or the family or relatives or other people gained from that abuse of office offense, then it's 17 years imprisonment. The court's approach to abuse of office, we've charged a lot of cases over the years concerning abuse of office offenses. One that I would like to talk about was the one that happened in 2014. The offenses took place in 2010, I believe between May to August 2010. So there were a total of 8 accused persons that we had charged back then. And this 8 person, it comprised of public officials and directors of companies, of stationery companies, or I believe hardware companies as well.
Okay.
So the first 6 accused persons, like the first 6, because we had charged a total of 8 persons.
Okay.
So the first 6 accused persons, while performing and discharging their duties and their responsibilities at the different stages in procurement, the procurement processes. So they were able to facilitate 101 false transactions for purchasing of stationery and hardware. Okay, so 101 false transactions. So in doing so, when they did that, they were committing offenses of abuse of office. They were causing a loss to the organization that they were working for. Basically, they were causing a loss as well to the government of Fiji. And they were also obtaining a financial advantage, okay? So there was also some money that went into their pockets. So basically, what you would say in an informal conversation, they basically had their cut as well. So during these facilitation of 101 transactions, the false transactions, the account section had paid 60 checks. Okay, 60 checks, and that came to a total amount of $362,944.37. And that payment went to 3 stationery companies, and the 3 stationery companies was all owned by one person.
Wow.
Okay, one person. So the person that owned the 3 stationery companies paid an amount of $65,200 to the mastermind. The mastermind was one of the public officials. Okay, for what? For her role in organizing and arranging all these false payments. Okay, so they were charged, and the case went to court. And they were given their individual respective imprisonment sentences, and they served their time in prison. Yeah. Wow. So that is one example of abuse of office in a case that we had charged in 2000.
Thank you for sharing that scenario, Ms. Colora Naliva. And of course, such a vicious cycle we would not want to be in. And yes, please say no to abuse of office and say no to corruption as well. We stay with us for more episodes in the future as we reflect on our lives and also ask, are there chains we need to break? Would you like to answer that question, Ms. Colora? Are there chains that we need to break?
There's definitely a lot of chains that we have to break when it comes to the fight against corruption. And I would like to, because you need to understand at the end of the day that corruption is the bedrock of that fuels other social harms like drugs, poverty, crime, and instability. So basically, when I say that corruption is a bedrock, what I'm trying to say is that corruption is the root. Okay, it weakens the institution. Okay, when corruption takes hold, rules and laws are not applied fairly. Okay, and that opens doors for drug traffickers. It opens doors for organized crime and other illegal actors to thrive because enforcement is compromised. Okay, and there's misuse of resources. Like I've mentioned before, government funds or public funds or government grants that's meant for health, education. It gets siphoned off. So where does it leave the communities? It leaves the communities being vulnerable to drug abuse, to unemployment, to poor services. Okay, and there is broken trust. Okay, citizens tend to lose faith in government institutions, okay? When people stop believing in fair systems, obviously they will turn to illegal and unlawful economies, okay? Like drugs, okay? Because that is going to be their survival strategy. Protection for criminals, okay? Corrupt officials, they can shield drug dealers or criminal networks from investigation. So, in a sense, their businesses goes unchecked and it expands. So, the message that I'm trying to say today to everyone that's tuning in, that you have to think of corruption like as termites in a wooden house, okay? This is a very simple comparison that I can make so that people understand how corruption is the root of all social ills, okay? Think of corruption as a termites in a wooden house. You might see the cracks, okay, which is the drug problems, the crime, the unemployment, but the real issue is the hidden infestation that's eating away at the structure, which is basically corruption, okay? Unless you deal with the termites, which is the corruption, the cracks will keep on spreading no matter how much paint you apply to that wooden structure, okay? So remember, corruption is a mother of all social ills. When leaders sell integrity, drugs and crime buy space to grow. Thank you.
Thank you. I like the termite and the plus, adding up to the corruption story. Thank you so much, Ms. Carlotta. And yes, we are here to build up the nation in collaboration with FICAC, the good people from FICAC, Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption. Do join us again as we explore how we can stand firm, live with integrity, and truly break the chains of corruption in the next episode. And we are saying, ni mo demanda.